on a week when we have good filibuster news.
I think it is important and powerful that Cory Booker filibustered for 25 hours and 4 minutes, overcoming Strom Thurmond's record when he filibustered to prevent the Civil Rights Act. I think that's fabulous. I love Cory Booker. I think what he did was important. I thought when he did it was strategic and impactful. And also, I hate the filibuster. Get rid of it.
Here's what I would like to say about Senator Booker, who I have always liked, who I would have voted for had he made it to my primary ballot when he ran for president. I have always liked Cory Booker, even though he is farther to the left on many topics than I am. I just trust him as a human being. I think he sees a vacuum and is trying to step into the vacuum. I think it is a good thing for someone to show that you can make news doing something positive. Mm-hmm. Because even when Cory Booker is going negative, which he did, he spent 25 hours talking about how dangerous Donald Trump is. But he intersperses that with calls to improve the human spirit, that America is a great country that can be greater, that America, despite all of its faults, continues to move forward. Like, I just think it's good that he does good and gets attention and shows a model for doing good. And I also think that people want to see some stamina and some fight and some fire from people. You know, there's been all this discussion going back to 2015 about how Donald Trump is able to just speak extemporaneously for hours and hours. And isn't that wonderful? And I think what you see with Cory Booker is Democrats should do more of that. This was a physical feat that is unnecessary. And like, it's horrible that we have these rules that you can't use the bathroom. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that he had to do this. But also kind of puts to bed the idea that all Democrats are wimps who can't handle anything. And Donald Trump's the only person with the stamina to speak for a while. And he said good things when he was a little bit unleashed and a little bit tired and a little bit dehydrated. He still says things that are coherent and wise and inspiring. And so to me, this is step one in a long process of changing the Democratic brand. And if Cory Booker is the person who's got like a whiteboard in his office on how to do that, that makes me very excited.
Well, and let me just say, let's think about how all this took place. This was the same week that up in Wisconsin, under the brilliant strategy of the Wisconsin Democratic Party and Ben Wickler, said, we're not going to talk about Donald Trump at all. We're going to zero in on Elon Musk's role in this special election to elect a member of our Supreme Court. Wisconsin's not for sale. So they didn't talk about Donald Trump at all. They zeroed in on Elon Musk. Meanwhile, Cory Booker's over there on the Senate floor talking about nothing but Donald Trump for 25 hours. Meanwhile, last week, AOC and Bernie were out in Denver fighting the oligarchy, doing their thing at a rally. He's going to take all kinds. He's going to take all kinds. And we got a lot of primaries. We got a lot of primary announcements. The videos are starting to flow of people saying, this is what I see. People primarying Democrats, people getting ready for a big Democratic fight in Michigan. Like, cool. Great. Let's do it. Let's throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks. Sounds great to me. Love it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is just a really nice indicator that Cory Booker wants to be in that fight. Like, he is ready to go for leadership of this party. And I'm here for that.
I hope he's eyeing Senate Democratic leadership. I think he'd be a great leader of the Senate Democrats. I really do. I mean, maybe he's thinking about president again, but I think that would also be a really good role for him. Because we need that too. We're going to need the next Nancy Pelosi as much as we're going to need the next Barack Obama. Like, it's going to take all kinds because it's a big, complicated role to govern as a party, and to think about where people are and what are they listening to, and talking about people who are low propensity voters in the middle, and talking about to the party faithful who are 10 kinds of furious. Yeah. Like, it's just going to take everything. But I think the hopeful part is what's happening on the Republican Party is nobody's talking to anybody but Donald Trump. That's why Laura Loomer just showed up in the White House and talked him into firing like half the national security team. Because again, that's what it took. That's what it took. You can't talk. You can't listen to the voters. You can't listen to media coverage. The only way to get anything done is to go pay tribute and convince him and be the last person in his ear. And so Laura Loomer gets up there, and she's the one who convinces them, not even because they deserve some sort of responsibility for this massive screw up, but because she believes some sort of conspiracy theories. I don't even know. Who knows what's going on in Laura Loomer's head? I shouldn't know nor care.
Well, this buttoned up tighter ship is starting to fall apart. I think you're right
where's
that
Susie
the tariffs
Wiles at? Where you at, girl?
The tariffs feel like part of that, as you said. The Laura Loomer thing feels like part of that. The reporting that there were numerous signal chats on national security matters, that Mike Waltz is using Gmail for national security issues, like that. We're starting to see that maybe we had lipstick on a pig here.
Yep. No, totally. And so the problem is he is just as erratic when backed in a corner as he is when riding high. That's the problem.
We just are who we are.
We just are who we are. And that's what I'm concerned about. And so that's why it's going to take all kinds, because there's going to be a lot of battles to fight as this plays out. And it's going to take a lot of different warriors and a lot of different skills to deal with that.